What is going on, good people? You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. My name is Smitty. We're breaking down all the players you see on screen right here, all the fantasy football news relating to week number 13 to get you right and set to win your week 13, set to get your playoff seed, set to win your fantasy football championship in 2022. And we're always talking about 2023. In fact, I just released a video on the top 2023 running backs, the rookies mixed in. We talked about Bijan Robinson ranking maybe 1 or 2 in dynasty rankings. We're talking about all that stuff all the time here on the Fantasy Football Show. We are redraft, we are dynasty. I work for you. Not interested. Kilpatrick, Jeb, Michael Payne, Vamp, all first in the building today. Owen, appreciate you all being here. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's go. The Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now.
You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? Thank you for joining me. Hit that thumb up button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get to the fantasy football news for week number 13.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Yeah, buddies, we've got a lot of news to cover over the next 5 to 10 minutes during the intro of this show. This Monday through Friday show, which we do every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. McCaffrey still dealing with a knee irritation, they call it, and Shanahan was very coy when questioned about this by reporters today, and he said things like he had enough irritation to not practice today, and they're like, well, is it cause for concern for Sunday's game? And he's like, is cause for concern to have him not practice today. So he's very coy about this situation. He did end up saying something along the lines of like, I hope it doesn't keep him out. So we don't know. We're at a point of like, this is ambiguous. We don't really know what this knee irritation is. He did end up clarifying, Kyle Shanahan, when someone asked him what was it. He said something along the lines of that McCaffrey felt something going on, felt something in his knee. Who knows what that is? That could be cartilage. That could be floating cartilage. It could be soreness with the meniscus tear that never healed or something like that. We have no idea. I'm totally speculating. I have not a single bit of information on what it is because no one's going to tell us. Shanahan won't tell us. Nobody's going to tell us. We don't know what it is. Irritation's weird. Irritation from what? You get irritation from swelling and injuries that haven't quite healed, things that they might look into in the offseason. Wouldn't surprise me if this was some kind of cartilage issue. He's had some weird injuries that have never been like the kind of injuries that you worry about for the next season, but he hasn't played football a full season for 2 years until this season. And he's been doing pretty well staying on the field, but now he goes to the one place in San Francisco where all the running backs go down. And so all of a sudden he's starting to deal with knee issues. Eli Mitchell, missing time with an MCL, and that's the other MCL, not the one that kept him out earlier this year. It's a little bit concerning. And the fact that he has a knee irritation to the point where they don't know if he's going to play, he's not practicing, you got to wonder if he's not at practice, he's not absorbing more and more of the offense, and you really want McCaffrey absorbing more and more of the offense because it is a complex system with a lot of moving parts and pulling and blocking and a lot of situations that if you're not on the field practicing, you can't absorb it. So I have a little bit of concern that we're probably looking at more of a timeshare this week than we would want, knowing that Mitchell's down. Now maybe we're going to get more carries and volume out of CMC, right? We're going to get more production because Mitchell's down. They probably don't trust Jordan Mason or called up recently Tevin Coleman or Ty Davis Price, who's been missing. They can't trust these guys like they trusted Eli Mitchell, can they? Or can they? The answer is they probably can, and we don't know what kind of volume CMC is going to get in week number 13 because of this knee issue and everything else going on. The timeshare, the knee issue, the absorbing the playbook. There's a lot of red flags to wonder if CMC is going to ever be consistent this year. Maybe it's the final 2 weeks of the season when everything gets going, but this is a concern. This is a concern. I'm not saying anybody bench him. If he's starting, you put him out there. There's no way you can't find a spot in your running back 2 slot, let alone your flex spot for CMC, even if he's supposed to be maybe limited and you're worried about the knee injury. But this is cause for concern for those that expected number 1, number 2, or number 3 overall production out of Christian McCaffrey post moving to San Francisco. It's a concern, and we'll keep tabs on it. This injury right here, look, ETN's not practicing. If we're going to have concern about CMC not practicing, we can't be hypocritical and be like, oh, well, everything's going to be fine for ETN because we want it to be. ETN didn't. He had a limited practice, but at least he practiced. There's still concern here, but this is not the same foot that he had the Liz Frank injury with. So I'm not all that concerned in general. Am I worried there could be some kind of like, They split the carries to keep ETN fresh and healthy, maybe, but for the most part, there's no way I'm sitting ETN in week number 13 if he's playing. I feel like he's got a little bit better shot of going than even Christian McCaffrey because he could have went back into the game, we were told, in week number 12. I don't know why he didn't. If he could have went back in, why didn't he? They're being cautious, I guess, because he had the off-season foot issue with the Liz Frank injury, but it was a different foot, so I don't know what they're being cautious about if he could have went back in the game. But he did have his helmet on before halftime. He was going to run back out on the field. It looked like he didn't. They went into halftime, came back out. His helmet was off. He was walking around, talking, laughing. Everything looked fine, but he didn't go back into the game. If I had to guess, he will be fine. He will play week number 13. There's no way I'm sitting him in week number 13, and nor should you. This piece of news right here, DeAndre Swift not on the Lions injury report. I have a feeling, and I have to correct myself. I'm sorry if I misspoke a couple of shows ago. Somebody called me out on it, and they're right. I said that he had scored 3 times in a row, 3 straight games, and his touchdown got called back in week number 12. So he didn't score in week number 12. He did score, but they called it back. But look, they've been using him near the goal line. If we count that touchdown, which we can't, but he is being utilized in a way that they're, it looks like they're eager to get him on the field near the goal line and not just use Jamal Williams. So that's very, very good news. If you've got DeAndre Swift and you don't have like an amazing option, you don't have Rashad White, you don't have Tony Pollard, you don't have good options like that, you got to play him. You got to play him. You got to take the home run swing. You can't sit on your hands and say, oh, well, I'm worried about Swift. If you have better options than Swift, of course, put it out there. Put him out there. Put the odds to the test, bro. You got to throw him out there. I would say it is most certainly a risk that if you're expecting running back one volume, sure. But I feel like this is a situation I'm willing to gamble on if I don't have a very, very good option to roll with. So Swift is in all lineups if you have mediocre running back options at your flex. Like you could find a spot for Swift in your flex spot, I imagine. Tua ankle was a full participant in practice Wednesday. That's good news. But what we're all concerned about is this like back-breaking looking play where he literally looked like he snapped his back in this contest in week number 12. It was crazy. Then they took him out. If you saw that play, you thought, oh my God, this guy is probably out next week with some kind of back injury, if not something worse. It's crazy the kind of hits that Tua's taken this year and the kind of risk it looks like, his body's been put in. This is crazy. This was a crazy shot, but it's ankle. Ankle is what he was tagged with in terms of the injury, but he had a full participation in practice. So get Tua in your lineup. And Tua's a top 5-6 QB play. Like nobody should be sitting Tua unless you have like a Hurts or a Josh Allen or an option like that. But Tua, man, that shot to the back was crazy. Jamar Chase was limited for Wednesday's practice, but he's limited. The idea is this guy's playing week number 13. There was talk about him playing week 12. We all got excited. It sounded like it was a go. It didn't seem like it was possible, or they're hopeful, that kind of dad's gonna go get ice cream with you later type of talk that you hear, and then it doesn't come to fruition. It wasn't that. This was he's playing week 12 and then he wasn't. So it's hard to know exactly where to go from here other than to put him in your lineup and just hope that no other news breaks that suggests he had some sort of setback. They didn't surprise us like last second or anything last week, so that was good. I don't think we would be surprised last second unless he went out there on the field, tweaked something, and they literally didn't even have time to update anybody, and we all had him in our lineups. That's the risk you take when you roll a guy like Chase out there. The risk you take. You take the risk, but you have to take the risk because what are you going to do? Sit him? What are you going to do? Who are you going to put in there in place of Jamar Chase? He's a top 5 overall wide receiver every time he's on the field. So you got to roll the risk. The risk is he could re-injure this hip immediately. He could go out and be 80% the whole game in week number 13. It is what it is. You're not sitting Jamar Chase. If you have Jamar Chase, you put him in your lineup. And if we hear anything, I'm going to be all over it. So we'll have information to break. Jaylen Warren, doctors have cleared him to return from his hamstring injury, and he expects to play in week 13 against the Falcons. The fact that we have no Najee Harris update, Najee Harris, this information is what we got on Najee. Oblique did not practice Wednesday. Looking a little more unlikely to play than likely in week number 13. So expect to be without Najee. Expect Jaylen Warren and Benny Snell and a rotation of RBs to be potentially taking turns running the football. But if Jaylen Warren is fully healthy and he can go and he's not limited, I imagine he takes the bulk of the carries and he has a pretty decent day. It's a gamble to take, though. It's a gamble to take. You're more than welcome to take it. Hopefully you have better options than Jaylen Warren. But if people are hurt with, is just smashed with injuries on the rosters, it's understanding that you've got to throw him out there. But Jaylen Warren, at least he's back. That's good news. Deebo Samuel, and that's why we had the Steeler running backs, Snell, McFarland. That's why we had everybody very low on the waiver wire edition show, because we didn't know what was going on. But Jaylen Warren would vault toward the top if for any reason, you still need waiver wire information. Obviously your waivers are processed, but it might help you to say, hey, if Warren's out there and you need a running back, go grab him. Deebo Samuel was limited with the quad. This is concerning. It's concerning for a number of reasons. Number one, he's been getting banged up several times laying on the field, and you're wondering if he's going to continue to play football. He's gone out or stayed on the field and looked injured more than twice this year. And this feels like, and I've said this before, it seems like he's carrying a few extra LBs. I don't think he's in as quite a good a shape as he used to be in, or he was last year. He's still quick. He's still trucking along when he gets up to full speed. But he does look like he's carrying a few extra LBs, which can add to potential injury risk. The question I have is this guy going to be able to stay healthy given he's battling multiple injuries, now battling the quad? Can he push through? And I imagine they're going to lean on him a little more this week because of the injury to Christian McCaffrey. I don't know how I feel about Deebo right now. There's a lot of mouths to feed. I feel like it's concerning for sure. Do I feel like he's a wide receiver 1 lock this week? I don't. I think if you own him, you have to play him unless you have crazy good options. But there is definitely reason to be concerned about Deebo finishing the season at this rate. We'll have to keep tabs on that, and I'll surely update you if anything breaks. Coach McVay said safe to say Matt Stafford won't play week 13, so expect another collapse and debacle of a performance out of the LA Rams in week number 13. They're just in trouble. They're just in trouble, and there's no hope for them. And Seattle's a pretty good defensive play this week because of it, and so consider throwing them into your if you're desperate for for a defensive pickup, and you've screwed the pooch on trying to get your defensive play in order this week. I mean, they're a decent play, honestly. I think the Rams are in an awful position, and I don't like the Rams going forward. I don't like any Rams. Like Higbee's a risk at this point because you just don't know if he's going to get the football. That running game I'm staying clear away from. I'm not really worried about any of the wide receivers. I'm not starting Van. I'm not starting really anybody because I don't think they're going to get the football thrown in accurate and consistent ways. So Damian Harris is out, won't play week 13. I'm about to stand. And I don't want everybody to get all upset, get your panties in a bunch, because I'm about to celebrate the man known as Ramondre Stevenson. This is not celebrating injury. Oh, Schmitty, one guy in the comments the other day, oh, Schmitty, you're the only show that celebrates injury. I don't celebrate injury, okay? I celebrate the rise of other players and opportunities for other players. Damian Harris won't play week 13, so guess what season it is? It is Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson season. Now, I'm not celebrating that it's not Harris season, but I'm certainly going to celebrate that it is Ramondre Stevenson season. And you're just going to have to deal with it. Mike Williams, don't expect him to play. Did not practice Wednesday, not boding well for his availability. So Palmer's a decent go this week again. Lamar Jackson dealing with the quad injury. This one's new. Lamar's a big concern, but if you own Lamar, what are your options? If you don't have better options, you're rolling with him. Stop getting cute and creative and trying to bench your studs. He's still a stud. He's still capable of being the number 1 quarterback on any given week. He's just unfortunately also capable of being outside the top 8 quarterbacks during any given week because he's not the best passer, and we know that by now. And people go to his defense and they try and say, oh, he's the most amazing passer in the world. He's developing Smitty. He's a running quarterback. He's a running quarterback. He doesn't have he has the cannon. He doesn't have the consistent ability to throw and make the best decisions like in my opinion, a Jalen Hurts is developing into. So Lamar Jackson isn't Jalen Hurts. He just isn't. He's Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson's amazing when he's on his game. He's not on his game right now. But what are your options? If your options aren't Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or Mahomes, if you're trying to dig into the Trevor Lawrences and players that are much more below, or the Geno Smith, like Ramon says in the chat, you can't do it. You can't go with Geno over Lamar. You made your bed. Okay, now sleep in it, Ramon. You made your bed. You decided to pick Lamar Jackson. You're going to have to roll with it, because guess what, Ramon? The moment you change lanes and get in the other lane, like on the freeway, your lane that you were in is going to start going again, and the lane you get in that's zipping on by is going to come to a complete halt. You start changing lanes, guess what? You're going to get burned. You're going to get burned. So stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane. Lamar Jackson, a lot of concern. I do think Andrews bounces back this week. I do smell a 2 TD game coming for Mark Andrews. I don't know if it's this week. Maybe he's saving it for the playoffs when it counts the most. But I smell a 2 TD game coming. You smell that? That is a 2 touchdown. That is a 2 touchdown performance coming out of Mark Andrews at some point in the near future. I don't know when. I can't promise it's this week. But if it is, that means Lamar's bouncing back the week that it happens. So get ready for it. I do feel like Andrews can still win leagues. I know people keep saying, Smitty, you keep saying that. Look, he's easing back in. The moment Andrews is back to full strength, I think he starts looking like a baby Kelsey. It's Kelsey, it's Andrews, and then it's a tier break, and then every other tight end below them. I do believe, even though Kelsey's on the top of the tier, there's no one touching Kelsey right now. Nobody. He's still in the bottom of that tier, capable. And I think people need to understand that. So let's hope it happens. That is all of the news we have for today. Appreciate you. And let's get to the phone calls. Let's get to the voicemails. Let's get to the super chats.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Appreciate everybody dropping voicemails. We got this one from Guilty.
Kenneth Walker and Pat Fryermuth for Jamar Chase and Dameon Pierce.
Kenneth Walker, look at him shortening it up now. That's crisp, man. That's clean, tight.
Kenneth Walker and Pat Fryermuth for Jamar Chase and Dameon Pierce.
Jamar Chase and Dameon Pierce. No, I mean I'm probably gonna roll with Kenneth Walker. But I love Jamar Chase. I wish I could say Jamar Chase, but right now we just don't know where he's at entirely, and so for that reason we got to roll with the safer play. This one's also from Guilty.
Or Dalvin Cook and Mike Evans for Jamar Chase.
Dalvin Cook and Mike Evans for Jamar Chase. What does the chat think of that one? Dalvin Cook and Mike Evans for Jamar Chase. I think if it was me, I would take Dalvin Cook and Mike Evans. And this is coming from somebody that absolutely loves Jamar Chase. But you're talking about two options, one of which in Mike Evans is very undervalued, but has the capability of being a wide receiver one. He truly does. I know a lot of people are going to say that he's no longer a wide receiver one, and I'm okay with that. But Dalvin Cook, as much as I doubt him, there's week 13, week 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 weeks left. And certainly it depends on what you got going on, obviously. It certainly depends on what you got going on with your team. But in general, I would say the Cook and Evans side is going to help you if you need the depth. If you need the depth to spread out, not for your bench, but the depth to spread out inside your lineup. If you are loaded, then of course you take the Jamar Chase gamble. But Cooks and Evans is a lot of firepower to put on your roster. It's very, very arguable on either side. I could easily flip the script on this one and talk about Jamar Chase over him. But I mean, it really is. It really does come down to what your lineup needs are and what you need for your team. But Cook and Evans is a lot to get. So if you need something, that's a great move for you. This message is from Jim. Let's see. Oh, no. This one's from the Bruce.
Who's having a worse fantasy season, in your opinion? Who's not worth drafting next year? Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers?
They're both having horrible seasons. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers right this moment over Russell Wilson, and that's a guy injured that we didn't even know was coming back. I don't want Russell Wilson. I don't want either of them. I'm not going to even answer the question, Bruce. I appreciate you being here. And where have you been? Where have you been, bro?
And in a dynasty value, who's better, Jordan Love or Mike White?
Jordan Love or Mike White? Mike White. Mike White, bro. Mike White's the answer. Mike White's always the answer. This one's from Kevin.
Smitty, how comfortable do you feel starting Deshaun Watson this weekend in the games? I have Kyler Murray out on a super flex. My other quarterback is Tom Brady, and I have Jordan Love too. But I feel like Watson is my best option, or I'm going to do a flex play like Brian Robinson or Adam Thielen or something. But how good you feeling about Watson first game back?
I mean, I'm not starting Watson. Let me put it in this perspective here. And someone was asking for the YouTube link. Here's the YouTube link. Dropped right there. There you go. Let me pin that bad boy so that you guys can get to it. But yeah, become a YouTube exclusive member. Link is dropped. The link has now been pinned. That gives you all the emojis and such. Let me put it this way. Am I starting him over Lamar's? Absolutely not. Am I starting him over Geno? Maybe you start. Geno's safer. You know, Watson, it's a revenge game. It's Houston. There's a lot of opportunity there. So I definitely feel like it's high risk, high reward. I could certainly see Watson having a 240-yard, one rushing TD, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 interception. I could see it happening, but I could also see him coming out looking rusty and having some kind of 1 TD, 1 interception, 220-yard game. So I'm not putting anybody amazing on the bench. I'm putting maybe a Geno if you're feeling frisky and you want to go high risk, high reward, and Geno is safer. You could go Mike White. Mike White feels safer. But I could see somebody putting Mike White on the bench and going Watson. But those are the options you're debating for Watson. You cannot talk about top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in place of Watson his first game back after showing he was rusty in the preseason. He certainly could be okay, but you got to start him only in certain scenarios. So what was your scenario here? Let me see. Kevin's scenario was
Murray out on a super flex mod. I have Kyler Murray out on a super
Kyler's
flex mod.
out.
Quarterback is Tom Brady, and I have Jordan Love too. But,
yeah, so between like Tom Brady and Jordan Love, of course I'd start Watson over Love if Love was in there, but Love's not playing. Aaron Rodgers is playing. Tom Brady is debatable. Tom Brady and Watson, I would say Tom Brady's safer. Watson's higher risk, higher reward. That's the perfect example where if you want to roll the dice, I'm okay with that. But Tom Brady does feel a little bit safer. So I would love to know what the chat thinks. Would you go, Dax, another one. Would you go Tom Brady or Watson revenge game? Tom Brady or Watson in week number 13? Let the chat vote. Appreciate you. TM.
Trevor Lawrence or Mike White?
Both are good plays this week. I think the consensus data out there across the industry is showing that more people are starting Trevor Lawrence than they're starting Mike White. But is that out of fear? You know, keep in mind that nobody started Mike White last week and he had 300 yards and 3 TDs. So, Trevor Lawrence is safer. Mike White's higher risk, higher reward. Because, you don't fully know what he's going to do, but I love what I'm seeing. He's a surgeon on the field. He did exactly what I felt he was capable of doing. This is why I've loved him for over a year and a half, and people rip on me constantly, did, saying Smitty thinks Mike White's the next Tom Brady. Look, Mike White looks absolutely phenomenal. And I'd probably roll the dice with him. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's safer, but I don't mind rolling the dice. I don't mind rolling the dice on that one. Appreciate you guys for dropping those super chats. It looks like we've got, I think we've got them all played at this point. Appreciate you guys dropping those. Let's go to the super chats and then open the phone lines up. A couple people saying they've been calling the phone line. Well, is the number on the screen yet? Of course I'm not answering. $20 hauler. Should have got immediate attention. Look at this guy. Look at him. Amazing. Robert. Appreciate Robert dropping the $20 hauler. My team is Hurts, Watson, Walker, JT, Tyreek Hill, Godwin, Hunter Henry, Hollins, Myers, Eagles, Hollywood, tight end Hayden Hurst, Gerald Everett. Now on waivers, Elijah Moore, Jeff Wilson. Is that Jeff Wilson? Who else is that? Jay Wilson. It's got to be Jeff Wilson. Lat Murray, who do you drop for a tight end? Now on waivers. Oh, Everett now on waivers. No, are you saying that Jeff Wilson's on waivers? I don't know if that's what you're saying. Who do you drop for a tight end? I think he's saying that tight end Hayden Hurst and Gerald Everett are now on waivers. Moore, Wilson, Lat Murray, who do you drop for a tight end? I think that's what he's saying. I would drop, out of those three, I mean, you might drop Hollins over those three. But I would probably say I would drop, if I had to pick between those three, Elijah Moore. But I like Elijah Moore. Don't drop Jeff Wilson. Don't drop Jeff Wilson. There's no way. I would drop Elijah Moore or Hollins. Either one. Probably I don't know. I like Hollins. I like Elijah Moore about the same. So pick your poison there. Robert, appreciate you. And as for the tight end to grab, I'd probably grab Gerald Everett. Assuming everything looks good, I'd grab Gerald Everett. Okay, next super chat was from Decimate. Decimate said, play 2 running backs, Swift, Mixon, Rashad White, Jeff Wilson, Murray. Play 2, Swift, Mixon, Rashad White, Jeff Wilson, Murray. I'm going to go with Mixon, Rashad White. And I hate putting Jeff Wilson on the bench, but it is a tough matchup. Yeah, and I love Swift, but how can you sit Mixon or White? I'm gonna start Mixon and Rashad White. But that's me. If the chat disagrees, please drop what you think in the chat. This question is from Shoddy. Can we get a moonshot for our Terry Roberts? Yes, we can. Anytime. Whoa. Terry Roberts, appreciate you. Moonshot to Terry. Thank you, Shoddy. Sam Lopez. Huntley is a sneaky good stash in Superflex. I love Tyler Huntley. Bro, I talk about this all the time. And with Lamar banged up, you never know when that door will open. Like if Lamar were to sit in the next couple weeks, that's definitely a reason he's flirted with the waiver wire list, video for sure. Tyler Huntley looks like Lamar on the field. Like you wouldn't even know if you just sat down and you didn't know that Lamar was replaced with Huntley. Lamar sat out, his quad is hurting him, he sits out, and Huntley's on the field. You would for a split second be like, wow, Lamar, that was a good run by Lamar. Huntley is amazing. He's amazing. Him and Mike White were because Mike White's now a starter. They were. The two of these guys were the two best backups in the entire National Football League. And no one knows about it, apparently. Coaches don't care. They don't look at benches. They don't say, oh, wait, maybe there's a guy in the NFL that should be starting. Instead, they go after known quarterbacks that have played football. Instead, Jimmy G's your starter in San Francisco, all you Niner fans, when you could have Tyler Huntley or Mike White, but coaches don't look at the bench. It's like some kind of, oh, well, if they're on a bench somewhere, they're not good enough to start. Like, use your brain and your eyeballs. Huntley and Mike White have been sitting there, available. And the Jets would have traded Mike White because they didn't even start him when Zach Wilson injured his knee. They put in Flacco. And I was screaming from the rooftops. You saw me. Mike White season. I'm not celebrating Zach Wilson's knee injury, but it's Mike White season. We're going to start, excuse me. Attention, we're going to start Joe Flacco instead of Mike White. I was livid. I don't know what it is about coaches that they don't look past the surface level of some of this stuff. How do you not know that Tyler Huntley's an elite potential quarterback. Yeah, he needs to improve his accuracy. Who does? Are you, Bob, you critiquing Chris out there in the background right now, getting your keyboard out, keyboard warrior? Oh, he's so inaccurate, Smitty. Tyler Huntley is not accurate. Yeah, either was Jalen Hurts. But guess what? We looked past that, didn't we? Because we saw talent. Okay, so there needs to be a time and a place where you start citing accuracy and that a player's fully developed. Oh, Huntley, he can't get better with his accuracy. Oh, Jalen Hurts can't get better with his accuracy. Tyler Huntley could be Jalen Hurts if he was in the right scenario. Mike White can be Mike White, who we now know to be Mike White in the right scenario, and now he is Mike White. So absolutely, Tyler Huntley is a very crafty ad in Superflex if you have a spot to burn. Start Pollard or Rachaad White this week. I'm starting White given what we saw between Zeke and Pollard last week. Hopefully we don't see the same thing with Fournette and Rachaad White this week. And that's right now. Maybe I changed my mind on that one, Vamp. We got to maybe take that as it comes. Guilty. Dropping a super chat. Guilty, I hope you heard your messages. They're about, I would say, like 25 minutes into the show, right around there. Do you take that Cook and Evans deal over Walker Freiermuth deal? I'm out to dinner. I'll try and call in later. Cook and Evans or Freiermuth. I mean, it kind of depends on Freiermuth. It kind of depends on, are you starting Freiermuth? This is kind of an out of nowhere tight end situation mixed into all this, and I don't really know what the tight end situation looks like if Freiermuth's not involved in the deal. And so, how important is Freiermuth to you? I would probably say Cook and Evans. If you need a change, I would go Cook and Evans. If you've got Walker and Freiermuth, I don't think you have Walker and Freiermuth. I forget who you're giving up, but I would say that if you need a deal, if you're not in it to win it right now, and you need a change, you might as well go with the two players and roll the dice that Cook explodes and Evans explodes. And if one of them doesn't explode, they're still going to be serviceable enough, and the other could explode and kind of, make the deal, right-size the deal anyway. But Cook and Evans, if you need a move, he's not bad, bro, at all. It's a really good gamble to take if a gamble is needed in your situation. Enjoy your dinner. And don't think for a second I don't also like the Kenneth Walker side of that deal, because it's good. Should I pick up Moreau if Taysom is my tight end? I would. Moreau's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. He should be pretty steady. He's a steady Eddie. Yeah, but Taysom could get increased volume. We'll have to wait and see. Jets D, Vikings, or Seattle defense against the Rams? I think Seattle's crafty because they're playing the Rams. The Rams are very beat up, very putrid, situation. So Seattle's pretty good. That's a pretty decent move, and it's also good for the run game. Kenneth Walker might get some fourth quarter run that we could enjoy, our third and fourth quarter run. Who knows? Who knows how this goes? Games you think are going to go one way and they go another way in the NFL. That's why it's the NFL. Crazy. But probably, it's hard to not go with the Jets. They're playmakers. But I don't know. I'd probably say let me look at a few stats real quick. Let me see what I can cook up real fast for you, because I'm very tempted to say I still want to go to the Jets, but that's a real tasty matchup. That's a really tasty matchup against that Rams offense right now. I still feel like the Jets are still always going to be in the top 10, but this is not the best play. They're probably right around 6, 7, 8 across the board. I'll go Seattle. Seattle feels like a top 5 play, bro. And the consensus data I'm looking at, too, majority of people in this situation are starting Seattle over the New York Jets. Not that the majority of people are correct, but it is a nice indicator that you're not off base according to the massive amount of people that are actually putting in lineups. I would probably say Seattle. I barely say Seattle. I like the Jets a lot, but I would probably say Seattle by a hair. Just by a tiny bit. A tiny bit, bro. Drink the punch. Nico or Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson, easy call. I don't care if it's a tough matchup. You can't sit Jeff Wilson in that scenario. Thank you for all those super chats. Let's go to a speed round Q&A, people. Keep it short, not reading novels. Let's go.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
Fast questions only. I'm not answering novels. If it's 3 lines, if your whole team's listed, I'm not answering it. I'm not doing it. So keep it short. Keep it tight, and let's go. Stay liquid. Stay fluid. Ravens or Packers if Fields is out. Probably Ravens, I guess, bro. Probably Ravens. Lawrence or Lamar. You can't sit Lamar in that situation. I like Lawrence, but I'm not sitting Lamar. Terry says hit the like button. Terry's right. Non-PPR, Rachaad White, Etienne, Walker, need 2. I'm going Walker for sure, bro. Get him out of this equation. And then Etienne, you can't sit Etienne. Start Swift or Pollard. That's a toss-up, crapshoot. Even Steven, go with your gut on that one because honestly, it could go either way. Kamara or Pollard this week. You got to start Kamara. If Pollard wasn't facing that Zeke situation, then it would be a different story. But you can't sit Kamara at the end of the season like you'd be considering right now. CMC Stevenson this week. You know what? Stevenson might be the call. We'll have to play that one by ear and kind of get a sense of what's going on with CMC. Jeff Wilson or B-Rob. I would probably go... with Jeff Wilson. I don't trust B-Rob enough yet. Start Rachaad White or Warren. I'm going Rachaad White. Come on, that one's easy. Carr or... thank you, D's Nuts, for becoming a loyal member of the YouTube exclusive membership. And East Coast Tatty gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, East Coast. I'll commend you in 1 second. We're in the middle of this, but appreciate you, my guy. Burrow or Herbert for this week. I'm going to go Burrow. He's got Jamar Chase back. Come on, Bucks D or Eagles D. I'm going with the Eagles defense. Lawrence versus Detroit or Mike White versus the Vikings. I'm going to go Mike White, but that's me. Will Najee be out multiple weeks? Right now it's 1 week at a time. I would say he probably misses this week, but we don't know for sure. DK or Jeff Wilson? Give me DK given the matchup for Wilson. Josh Jacobs, safe play, banged up. Bro, no one knows the answer to that. We got to wait and see. If he's playing, you play him because he played injured last week. So it's really up to the news on that one. Carr or Mike White? I'm going Mike White this week. Go Mike White. Pick one, PPR Pickens, Rachaad White or Gus or Hollins. You got to go Rachaad White, bro. What did Rachaad White do to you? Rachaad White or Jamal Williams? That one's tougher. Jamal's safer. Rachaad White's got a little more risk, a little more upside. Lamb, Swift, give me Lamb. Mike White or Goff? Give me Mike White. A.J. Brown or Godwin? I think that's pretty close, to be honest, but I'd probably roll with A.J. Brown, but couldn't fault anybody for going Godwin. Swift or Gabe Davis? I'm going Gabe Davis tonight over Swift. You can at me all you want. Smitty loves Gabe Davis so much. He continues to roll with Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis, but Swift is a nice start. I'm not saying bench. Don't bench him. Don't bench Swift. Find a way to play him if you can. I'm not saying to bench Swift. I'm just saying don't bench Gabe Davis. If you catch my drift, pal. You know what I'm saying? Big difference between me saying, yeah, definitely put so-and-so on the bench, or you're giving me 2 options. It's up to you to find a way to use both of them. Waller coming back. As of right now, looks very shaky for Waller coming back, but we will soon see. I don't think he's coming back soon. That's what I'll say. Monty or Rachaad White? Give me Rachaad White. Full PPR Pierce or White? Give me Rachaad White. What did Rachaad White do to a lot of you? Other than drop an amazing performance in week number 12. PPR Pierce or White? The answer's White. Njoku, Goddard, when healthy. I mean, when healthy, it's Goddard, but when is he going to be back? Deshaun Watson or Dak? I'd probably roll the dice on Deshaun Watson in that scenario. Need 2. Swift, Pacheco, Pierce, Wilson. Give me Swift and give me Pacheco, I guess. Wilson's got a really tough matchup. Kirk or Olave? Give me Olave. These Nuts became a member. Yes, he did. 5 gifted subs by Tatty, East Coast Tatty. That's right, he did. Appreciate him. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Gabe Davis, Lazar. Give me Gabe Davis. Swift, Mason, or Jeff Wilson. PPR. I'm going to go Swift out of those. I'll roll the dice with Swift. Rashad didn't drop 30 points, so people are mad. I guess so, Travis. Davis Price or Mason. I'd probably add Mason for right now, but that could definitely go either way. Deshaun Watson or Cousins, I'd go Deshaun Watson, I suppose. Tua or Watson, go Tua. Fields or Mike White. You're waiting on Fields, bro. Fields is playing. You're starting Fields, but I don't know that he will. I'm not sure. It's trending a little bit in the right direction. Lamar or Geno. We're going to go with Lamar, bro. Lamar, you can't sit Lamar. Not for that situation. Appreciate you all asking those questions. Let's hit the phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. Your boy Smitty is here for you. Dial in. Let's go. Rashad White, Jonathan Taylor against the Cowboys. You're going to go Jonathan Taylor, broski. That's an easy one. Okay, let's hit the phone calls. Dial in. Let's go. Dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
First phone caller. You're live. Who am I talking to?
I'm talking to Shiloh. What's good, Smitty?
What's up, Shiloh? What can I do for you?
Man, I got a question. I got George Pickens. It's the PPR league. I got George Pickens. I got Swift. I got Garrett Wilson. Debo. Carolina Breaks. I'm trying to play one wide receiver, and I got 2 flexes.
Okay, so you got Pickens, Swift, Garrett Wilson, Debo, and Burks.
Yep.
Okay, so you said one running back and 2 flex? Or one wide receiver?
One wide receiver.
Okay,
flex.
so Debo would be my wide receiver unless he sits, and obviously you'll know. And your 2 flex options would be Swift, in my opinion, and Garrett Wilson. You could go Pickens over Swift if you wanted, but I feel like Swift not being on the injury report, I feel like Swift getting that touchdown call back, but getting that call and scoring the 2 weeks prior, I believe. I really think this could be a game where he kind of bounces back a little, but it's worth it with your options. Like Pickens, I like he's steady, but I would definitely roll the dice with Swift. Do you need a win this week? Are you like on the verge of like being out if you lose?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 6-6. Got to win the next 2 weeks, and if I win this week, which is against the best team in the league, next week I play basically the dude that's if he loses, he's out, and I'm in if I win.
And are you kind of needing a big swing, or are you kind of the favorite?
Right now it's even. I'm a 6-point down if I don't have Debo in the lineup. If I put Debo in for Wilson, it goes up like basically even almost. What
does everybody think, Pickens or Swift? I'm going to roll the dice with Swift in your situation, but that's me.
Okay.
That's me.
I like Pickens only because he's going to Atlanta, playing in Georgia for college. I thought about that. I feel like he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, but I do like Swift a lot. I traded a lot to get him, so
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk, but I feel like Swift, they know what they have, and I think that we're all in that one mode that we were in with JT, where it's like, it's not going to happen anymore. It's done. It's done. It's over. Like, you just wanted to, like, I want to wash my hands of it and walk away because I'm tired of, like, sitting there hoping and getting my hopes up. So I'm just going to end it here. I'm just going to end the hope here, and I'm going to sever the relationship between me and JT. That's how a lot of people think. Like, if you're a logical person, think about it. Swift still has the ability. He still has the ability. We know he's one of the most talented, physically gifted running backs in the entire National Football League. I think at some point they're gonna feed him. It sucks it's taken this long, and there's certainly a chance they just love rotating, but I think they run enough that he could get like 12, 13, 14 carries still, even with them sharing work. And, you know, I just think Swift could open it up, and I'd take the chance on it. But it could burn you. Like, you have to know what you're dealing with. I mean, Pickens is safer. I'm telling you that right up front. Pickens is a safer play. I just don't know that he has the upside in that offense.
I appreciate it, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Next caller, you're up. You're the only caller, so it's you. It's you.
How's it going, Smitty?
What's up?
I just got a quick question for you. So we got T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, and David Montgomery, and I need to start two for the week.
Higgins, Waddle, and who?
And Montgomery.
Monty. I mean...
And I have the Olave on the bench as well. But
who's on the bench?
Olave.
Olave. Yeah, I like Olave more than Monty. So you're starting two? I mean, how can you not go with the top two? How can you not go with Higgins and Waddle? You know?
I have Tyreek as my other receiver, so we're just trying to fill in the receiver two in our flex spot.
I mean, that sucks.
I'm a little worried about the...
Yeah, I mean, that sucks, but you drafted that. It is what it is. Like, you drafted that. Like, you can't you can't draft two, you can't draft two monster wide receivers that are both, like, they really are both top 10 and then just bench one because you decide you don't like to go with the double. You drafted the double, but you got to play him. You can't sit Waddle because you have Hill. Like, Waddle is playing like a top 6, top 7 wide receiver in fantasy football. And Higgins has been balling out, and maybe Jamar Chase getting on the field distracts defenses to the tune of Higgins still balling out for another game or two. So you can't sit Higgins or Waddle just on principle. I like Olave a lot. I'm not saying don't find Olave into a flex spot somewhere, but Monty, I probably don't start Monty. It's Waddle and Higgins for me.
Okay. Thank you, Shmir.
Yeah, appreciate you. But trust your gut, man. Anything can happen. I'm probably gonna be wrong on 70%, or I'm gonna be right on 70% max of everything I'm saying today, on every day. There's no way I can be more accurate than probably 70 to 75% on everything that I get asked, because no one's asking me, hey, should I start Christian McCaffrey or Ingram? He's on a bye this week, but I don't know, Taysom Hill or Christian McCaffrey. No one's asking me those questions. Everyone's asking me, should I start Olave or Monty? Should I start, Fields injured, or a player like, Tom Brady? Like these are calls where anything can happen, and with your situation in particular, I feel a little bit more like these aren't 50-50 calls, but they're still close to it, So I'm gonna miss, man. I'm gonna miss. So make sure you trust your gut and don't just go off what I'm saying. Make sure you're guided by what I'm saying, not doing what I'm saying. Appreciate you.
Right. Have a good night.
Later. Rock Out, you are up. Rock Out. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I need two flexes. Can I give you my players?
Yeah.
I got Zay Jones, B-Rob, Pacheco, and Swift. And I need two flexes, one RB.
Two flexes and one RB?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep putting my money where my mouth is with Swift. This week at least. I love what Zay did this week, man. He was so good. I'm going to say it's so easy to be like, B-Rob looks great. Oh my God, B-Rob's the man. But it's like that offense and the way they use him and the way they use multiple running backs, and he's a good running back. I like him. He runs really tough and really, really hard, but I don't know how much I trust him. I don't know how much I consistently trust that Pacheco will stay in his role either, even though I love Pacheco and I love what he's doing, and I've been big on Pacheco every single week. He's been on the waiver wire pickup list every single week. Him and Rashad White every week. Pacheco and White, don't leave him out there. Pacheco and White, don't leave him out there. People keep giving up on him. Now Pacheco and White are helping people win championships, but Zay's consistent right now. Looks good. This is a tough one. It's PPR?
Yeah, it's PPR. I kind of want to play all of them.
Yeah. What do you guys think on this one? What are we doing here? What are we doing here for Rock Out? I want to know what you guys think. Zay is starting to break out, says Brian. He's just...
I think Robinson's more in a run offense, though.
Yeah, there is that thought. There is that thought that KC and the way that it felt like maybe Pacheco wasn't going to have as good of a day as he ended up having, and then it started to unfold well for him. Like, I don't know, there was moments there where I was wondering.
Yeah, but when for the touchdown, it kind of would have looked a little different.
Yeah. Pacheco and Zay. I suppose you could sit Swift and go with the other three if you want to play it completely safe, but I kind of feel like I want to go Swift, but these are your safe three. So if you need a big swing, I would put Swift in and I'd probably sit one of them, but those are your safe three. I would probably sit, if it were me, let me look at the matchups again real quick. At the Giants. I don't know if B-Rob's going to go crazy. If it's me, I sit B-Rob. I feel like B-Rob's going to go from having a big game to having a bad game. But that's me. It's a total guessing game. Total guesswork. I sit B-Rob, but that's me. But your top three are safer.
Yeah, it's kind of a game script. You never know when they're going to sprinkle Gibson.
Yeah. I don't trust Washington. I trust Washington the least. So that's why I'm going to say that. What else you got?
Would you play Cousins this week, Carr or Mike White?
Cousins, Carr, or Mike White? Give me Mike White, but that's a little bit of a dice roll. You know, I admit.
Yeah, I mean, they're like pretty close.
Yep. I mean, Cousins is safer, I suppose, but give me the Mike White show, baby. People said not to play Mike White last week. How'd that work? All right, bro. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, call back if you have another one. Later, pal.
Yep.
All right, next caller. I got one caller on the line, so it's all you. You are him. What can I do for you?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? How are you doing?
What's up? Who's this?
Hey, my name is Charles.
Charles, hit me with it.
Hey, so I had a question. I have a wide receiver issue. So I'm going to tell you my squad. You can tell me if it's trash or not, but I'll just let you know. I'll just give you my squad. Lamar Jackson, Devontae Smith, Zay Jones, Adam Thielen, Montgomery, McCaffrey.
Hold on one second.
Bellinger.
Hold on one second. Thielen, Monty who? Monty McCaffrey?
David Montgomery.
Okay. Who else?
McCaffrey, Bellinger.
Who?
Wilson.
Who?
Bellinger.
Okay. And who Wilson, who?
And Jeff Wilson.
Okay.
So my bench, I have Gus Edwards, I have Justin Fields, I have Randall Cobb, I have Richie James, and I have Mike White.
Have you ever heard
out of those wide receivers?
Out of those wide receivers, what?
Those wide receivers, who would you pick as in three?
Out of Zay Jones, Thielen, and Devontae Smith, and you got to pick how many? Two?
And I have Randall Cobb as my and Richie James as my other two on the bench.
This is a rough one, bro. This is a rough one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I appreciate it.
Promo code worthy. You know, I'm just telling you. Promo code Smitty at Underdog Fantasy. It's they'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. And you can go start over and draft your fantasy lineup for week number 13 only, and take all that you know, all the knowledge you know now to avoid this right here. You can take it into week 13 and draft a week 13 only lineup.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like here's the problem. This is where you crap the bed. Is you have Lamar and Fields, and you weren't. And I'm not saying it was easy to trade in your league. I get it, but you shouldn't have sat on this the whole year. You know, one of the two was tradable.
Right.
And I just think that's where you missed out on. What's your record? 3 wins? 4 wins?
No, I'm at 5-7.
Wow. 5-7. I have to say, bro. And how many teams are in it?
It's a 12-team PPR.
Wow, bro. I will say this: you did some good start benching based on who you had to assemble a 5-7 record with this team. So kudos to you, to your fantasy football weekly management capabilities. It might be the draft day stuff we got to work on, but you obviously make good calls when it comes down to start bench. I don't know. I mean, these are your top 3 wide receivers. It's not Cobb. You know, if I had to rank your wide receivers, I'd say Zay right now feels like you're 1. Thielen even, what's Thielen's health status? Is he banged up at all right now? For some reason, I feel like he was. Is he not? Maybe he isn't.
I don't think so.
Thielen.
I think it's from that bad turkey from Thanksgiving, so I think that's probably
the bad turkey.
Yeah, so, you know that dry turkey they try to feed him.
Yeah. I didn't know. For some reason, I thought he got banged up or something. He didn't. Okay, so yeah. I mean, Thielen's your number 2. He's number 2. Devontae Smith is just hit and miss, and he's gonna be. He's not gonna be consistent for you. But I mean, can you trade anything? Can you trade? No.
The trade.
Yeah,
the train's over.
This is what you should have did. That's it. And then maybe I would have divided CMC into 2 players the moment he was traded and he had hype. Then you could have maybe fixed it. But honestly, this is like coming to a surgeon. You know, you passed away like an hour and a half ago, and you want me to revive the body, and I just can't, bro. I'm sorry. There's nothing I could. Keep going out there and make the decisions you've been making, because you've been knocking people off, and you shouldn't be at 5-7. That's fantastic. Keep doing your thing.
So I'm asking another question. I don't want to keep, it's a pretty long question I gave you, but
that's right.
Is Taysom Hill droppable, or should I pick up like Julio Jones or Sky Moore?
I mean, honestly, you play in a Yahoo league, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I can tell by the way you list your players. I would say, well, I mean, you got your wide receivers at the top. I can't stand that.
Right.
I can't stand that when Yahoo organizes it like that. I don't know why they do it to be different. I don't know. But I would say because he's got that QB eligibility, I don't know. Maybe just grab him and because you need something, bro. Like, Julio's not doing nothing for you. Like, and either will Taysom Hill, but if Taysom Hill gets into the lineup as the quarterback and you can shove him out there as your tight end, then all of a sudden you're scoring some weird points. So you need to take Taysom Hill and hope that he becomes the quarterback. Like that would be a weird turn of events for you, and then maybe you somehow start knocking people off, bro. Lamar, Taysom, and Jeff Wilson and CMC could win it for you. If Taysom was a quarterback playing tight end, or tight end playing cornerback, you know what I mean? So pick up Taysom. Right. Definitely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Hey, I enjoy listening to your podcast. Your NFL stuff. So
let's get you. Are you a subscriber to the Fantasy Football Show, the content, or no?
Yes, I am. Okay,
so there'll be a video course section. You can see it on the graphic here, the orange little TV video courses. That's going to help a lot with strategy and stuff. And my advice to you would be, whatever you did with this particular strategy, start trying some different ones. That may be uncomfortable because you might hit like your sweet spot for drafting. And a lot of people stick to what they've been doing, and they don't ever look at fantasy football like a learning situation. Like, you go to school to learn more. When you study something, or you're becoming an accountant, you're furthering your education, your capabilities, your Excel skills, your ability to compile and organize numbers and such. Like, you're always working on it to make your job better and to be more efficient. Like, people in fantasy is so weird. They just literally keep doing the same thing the next year. Like, I can tell you're a good manager, bro. And I'm not saying you're a bad drafter. We all have bad drafts. Who'd you have get hurt? Because you haven't even told me that. You're being humble. You probably had like Brees go.
I had Brees.
Yeah, you had Brees go down. So there you go. So you didn't even really do anything wrong, but you shouldn't have sat on Lamar and Fields. But I don't know how hard it is to trade in your league. Maybe they're like mummies in your league. All right, bro.
This is also it's also a keeper league, so there was a lot of players that are
Yeah.
If
You
it
still
wasn't keeper league,
you still have Brees?
So
You still have Brees?
no, I got rid of him.
Who'd you get for him?
Oh, I didn't get nobody. He got hurt, so I needed a bench spot. So
Can you pick him back up though for next year to keep him or no?
I can, yes.
Okay, make sure you grab him.
Okay.
Don't walk into next year without having him as a potential option. He still could be a top five running back. All right, bro.
Right.
Appreciate you.
All right, sir. Hey,
Later.
thank you very much.
All right. Next caller's the Bruce. The Bruce. I have to say, the Bruce, we have missed you. Where have you been? Number one, are you okay? Number two, and what can I help you with, kind sir?
Oh, well, you spoke of surgeons. It's funny. I've been traveling all over I'm getting a surgery, but it's a specific surgery to get
surgery
is loose. Yeah.
What surgery are you having? You don't have to share, but
I'm getting it don't matter to me. I have epilepsy, and I'm getting a pacemaker inserted in the back of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Can't take medication anymore. Yeah, well, if it helps anyone that has it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
doing it.
The Bruce, man. Well, prayers up for the Bruce. Can we drop some prayer emojis in the chat for the Bruce? Send him to the moon.
To the moon.
That will help. And the Bruce, we need you to call in more, bro. Especially if you're sitting around healing. I don't know how long the recovery is on that, but we are your sanctuary, my man. And you can call in any time.
Yeah, like I texted you that one time of like, this is what I'm going. IG messaging you.
Yeah.
I picked up Mike White and started him last week, and everyone laughed at me in my one league. So
now who's laughing now?
Proved me wrong, or proved me right.
Who's laughing now?
To the moon.
Yeah, that's right. I want to put Mike White on the moon list.
To the moon.
On the moon men.
Right with you, Bruce.
Should I start Mike White, Dak, or Geno this week?
Geno's safest. Mike White is high risk, high reward still until he continuously does it. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just roll with the guy that did it last week for you. Give him the benefit of the doubt that he should be in there. Prayer emojis are dropping in like a rainstorm here for you, Bruce. So everybody's got the prayers up, man.
Thank you.
I go. Can we get a vote on top of the prayers? Can we get a vote for whether he should go Geno, Dak, or Mike White while we're sending Brucey to the moon?
To the moon.
And I got one more for you.
All right, hit me with one more.
I got 2 first-round picks because I traded Jefferson this year for a first and a second next year. So I have 2 ones, and it's a redraft where I can keep one player. Should I give up one of them ones and get Kenneth Walker and just say, hey, now I'm keeping him?
Give up one of the ones for Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, so yeah. I know I have him next year.
Yeah, because I'd draft Kenneth Walker in the top 3 overall right now if I'm drafting for 2023.
Okay.
And that may change. That's how I feel right now.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know. It's like, am I making a mistake trading?
I don't know if I would have traded.
Because I almost didn't do it.
Well, I almost wouldn't have traded JJ for, I would have probably kept JJ. But if you can turn JJ into Walker and a first rounder, then it kind of looks like I actually like that trade in general. Then.
Okay. Yeah, and then I lied. I got one more for you.
All right.
I have ETN, Rashad White, or T. Higgins this week.
ETN, Rashad White, or T. Higgins. I probably go ETN, but it does come with some risk if you want to go low risk, a little less upside, but still a good upside. T. Higgins is probably your safest bet of the three. But, I mean, it'd be hard for me to sit ETN unless we start feeling worried about his workload and they start saying, hey, we're gonna take it real slow. You know?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brucey. Please check in with us, man.
I will.
All right.
Yeah, I was actually in Arizona. I forgot the message to say. Hey,
oh, man.
I'm trying to find the right doctor.
the Bruce is loose in Arizona. All right, man. Well, make sure you check in. Call him more often. All right, later, Bruce. That's the Bruce.
The Bruce is loose.
Appreciate the Brucey. All right. Kilpatrick, hang tight real quick. Okay, I'm sorry to make you wait. You've been waiting a long time. Steven says, need 3.5 PPR. Chubb, Mixon, Stevenson, Dameon Pierce. You're going to start Chubb, Mixon, and Stevenson, not Dameon Pierce. That's easy. Also, do I drop James Robinson for Mason? Probably. I probably do drop. That would be a good move, I think, but it's arguable. Ronnie with a super chat, $10 hauler. Ronnie, all $10 haulers go to the moon. Ronnie says, set my lineup, Smitty. QB Fields, Geno, Watson. Of course, you know, I probably, obviously, if Fields is playing, you play Fields. Watson, Mike White, you're going to roll the dice, you know, one way or the other. They're both kind of risky plays. Watson's probably a little higher reward, higher risk. I think Mike White's amazing play last week kind of makes him the safer of the two options. But, you know, pick your poison there. Running back, Stevenson, Pierce, Pacheco, Kyron, Zamir, Jordan, Mason. I'd probably say my top two choices would be Stevenson and Pacheco. Pierce would be the third if you need a third running back. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, and it's going to be Paris Campbell. And then Andrews is your tight end if you need a third wide receiver, obviously Nico. But between the third wide receiver and the third running back, I would lean in the direction of, I guess I would lean in the direction of Pierce. That would be, and Andrews should have a day. Thank you for the super chat. Alexander with a super chat says Swift, Pollard, Rashad White, Pierce, pick two. It's Swift and Rashad White for me if you want to roll the dice a little bit. Pollard might be safer than Swift, but there is some risk to his situation as well, clearly by the presence of Zeke and how they want to divide that workload. So Swift and Rashad White are the higher risk, higher reward play, and then Rashad White and Pollard are a tiny bit safer. There really is no for sure answer there. All right, you're live, Kilpatrick. What can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing? First off, prayers up for the Bruce.
Yeah. Definitely.
So basically, I just need 3 out of this little group of running backs to start. I've got Leonard Fournette and Rashad White. I have Jeff Wilson and Monty.
Leonard
as well as AJ Dillon.
You got White and White and Lenny, and what else?
So I have Rashad White, Fournette.
Yep.
I have Jeff Wilson, Monty, AJ Dillon, and I need to start 3 of those.
I think I sit AJ Dillon, and I start Monty, Jeff Wilson, and Rashad White. I'm okay going Dillon over Monty over Dillon, but probably feel like that's the safest move to make, in my opinion. Monty, Jeff Wilson. I'm not sitting Rashad White. Just not doing it. I won't do it. I refuse to do it.
What type of information has surfaced with Fournette? Because honestly, I've been trying to trade him and move him. I can't even get a pack of peanuts for him. So I'm I want to play Rashad White. I'm playing him no matter what. But
why do you have to get rid of? Why do you have to get rid of Fournette to play Rashad White? Why do you got to get rid of Fournette to play Rashad White?
No, I'm just looking to capitalize on the piece.
Yeah, but there's nothing to capitalize on. He does you more good in case White goes down and then playoff Lenny gets reinserted back in and he does well. I had a caller call in earlier today and we talked about this, and he's actually trading for Leonard Fournette, and I was okay with the move because he was going to get like a Hollywood Brown, and so he was going to trade away a player to get Leonard Fournette and the player he's trading wasn't going to use, and it made sense because he had Rachaad White. Like, you're not going to get anything for Leonard Fournette. Nothing. No one's going to trade for him. Not only has he been injured, you don't even know if he's going to play at all or when he's going to play, but he's the backup to Rachaad White right now. Could that change? It could, and then you're going to want to have both of them in case that flip happens. And if Rachaad White gets hurt, rookies get hurt all the time. Rachaad White gets hurt, Leonard Fournette all of a sudden becomes a running back too, whether we like him or not, on pure volume.
Right.
So it does you zero good to try and trade him. Zero. As for that, that's how I'd start that.
Okay. One other quick question. I've held Taysom like all year. As per you and everything, because like I am in a Yahoo league, so like he is quarterback eligible.
Yep.
So I've been just like waiting for him to kind of get that usage, and I dropped him for Mike White because I have Geno Smith, and like I believe in Mike White. I really like the guy.
Who doesn't?
Should I start Moreau or drop him for Taysom?
Moreau? Who's Moreau?
Moreau.
Moreau. I love how you guys create names for people that just resonate like through time. Like that's probably gonna last for 10 years. You just created a legendary nickname for Moreau if he ever is relevant again. Moreau. I don't even know if I can remember that one.
Moreau sounds so much better.
It does sound better. It sounds more exotic. Moreau. Maybe that's how you say it. Maybe you're right. Maybe you heard it somewhere, and I've been saying Moreau, but Moreau. Yeah. Anyway, look, I like Moreau, but he's okay. But I'm definitely in a Yahoo league interested in that Taysom Hill hold, regardless of what kind of shade I get for it. A lot of people throw a lot of shade at it. They're like, give up on Taysom Hill already. But it's different in Yahoo leagues. If he gets in there at quarterback and he's your tight end, you're going to win a league. And you're going to piss off a lot of people. They're going to call you a cheater. But because they didn't think about it, everybody has the opportunity to do it right now. Everybody has the opportunity to pick up a guy that is going to be legally, in the context of position eligibility, earning multiple position eligibility, and yet ESPN and everybody that gets scared by all the emails they get and complaints and crying Caleb's, they're going to change it in the middle of it all and say, we're going to take away his tight end eligibility, but we'll leave him in your lineups. So just make sure you got your lineup that you need for the rest of the playoffs set. And if you don't need to make any changes, he can remain in there. That's what they did. But it's like, Moreau, I don't know if Moreau has that kind of upside as Taysom Hill. So he's okay, though. He's an okay starter for right now. I'd start Moreau, or as you say, Moreau. I would start him over Taysom Hill currently, but doesn't mean that Taysom Hill isn't like a sleeping giant, or he may never come to fruition, though. You got to know that.
But it's like,
that caller I just add, if you could mute your phone, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. He hung up. Wrong button. Wrong button. All right. Anything else I can help you with?
One last thing. Best stash defense for playoffs.
Best stash defense for the playoffs. That's a tough one. I don't know that I have a good answer for you at this moment. Let's take a look at Week 15 and to see what we can come up with. How's that? Who's playing the Rams? Green Bay. Green Bay's sitting out there a lot of the time. Who's playing? Let's see here. Who's playing? The Jets get dropped sometimes because people can't hold them for whatever reason because they need to play. Like, of course, if they're available, you grab them. But I'd say KC's playing the Texans. Like those are two. In week number 16, I like Dolphins are playing Green Bay. Who knows what's happening at the quarterback position at that point? I'm not saying Jordan Love can't impress, but, everyone thinks he's great. What if he gets out there and just completely throws 3 or 4 picks? So Miami's consideration. They're always a good scoring D anyway. Yeah, I don't see any crazy scenarios for that week number. What is this, week 16? I guess the Ravens playing the Falcons. Week 17, my favorite sleeper defense might be Chargers play the Rams. I don't see anything crazy that stands out, bro. Nothing unusual.
Don't even worry about it. I appreciate you guys.
All right, bro.
For everything.
Appreciate you. Later. Zach, you're up, Zach.
What's going on, Smitty?
What's up?
I got a question for kind of like upside playoffs. I'm holding on to Mason and Jalen Warren now that we know he's playing this week. Should I drop either for Zay Jones?
I'd probably drop Mason for Zay Jones, only because I think Tevin Coleman, TDP. But that's tough, because what if Christian McCaffrey sat out? Mason would probably start and be an elite play. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's no one else you could drop.
Yeah,
that's it. That's a tough. I mean, it's a catch-22.
Palmer. I like Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a catch-22. It comes down to injury. Zay's better for now, but one of those running backs, if starting, would be better. And it looks like maybe Harris could be very questionable this week, so I wouldn't drop Warren. I wonder if you could trade. Can you trade or no?
Yeah, I can still trade this.
I wonder if you could trade Warren to the Najee owner and free up a spot. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm playing the Najee owner this week. So.
Yeah.
And he's out of it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those moves. It's like, hey, should I cut Alexander Madison for a player that's playing right now? And it's like, I mean, yeah, but the minute Cook goes down, Madison's a top 6 to 10 running back.
Yeah. No, you talk to me. I'm gonna hold on to Warren then.
Yeah. But I do like Zay a lot. I do like Zay a whole heck of a lot, bro.
He gives me Amon-Ra vibes from last year.
Yeah, he's really good. The thing is, he's that's what I'm saying. I want you to pick him up. I don't know about that situation. You don't have a backup kicker or backup defense or something like that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, bro.
And I got one more question.
All right.
Just for this week, PPR, Christian Watson or Dameon Pierce?
Watson. He's proven. It sucks. I know it sucks, bro. And Pierce don't drop him, but it is what it is. No. It is what it is until he proves bounce back. Watson's been scoring. And it's like you've been probably sitting Watson on the bench, and I can tell you're struggling with the psychological part of this, of where if I was to tell you Pierce, you were going to finally breathe a sigh of relief that you weren't making a mistake week in and week out. And me saying go Watson just made you say I've been screwing up for 2 straight weeks. And you.
No, I started Watson last 2 weeks.
Then what are you doing? Why would you?
The matchup for Pierce this week, he's going up against just a horrible rush defense.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. But, if Watson's been treating you the way he's been treating you, I don't think you can say... Let's see what the chat thinks. I don't think the chat's going to say Pierce, but I like Pierce. I'm hoping I'll be rooting for him to rebound this week. I will be rooting for him to rebound this week. 100%. So if he does it, we'll be doing a moonshot. We'll be doing skating. I want you to understand that. But, Watson's been playing... very, very well. I don't know that I could sit him But let's see what the chat thinks. I mean, trust your gut. If your gut says Pierce, they're close enough, man. I'm not going to, like, if you said, hey, I'm starting Pierce over Watson, I wouldn't hit the take a loud button or anything. I'd be like, okay. I mean, I don't know if I would, but it's close enough. Hey, we got a Pierce vote. We got one Pierce vote. Christian, for me, it's a 1-1 so far. Pierce, 2-1 Pierce. Let's see here. But it's hard to know because a lot of times those are Pierce owners, and they're just hoping, man. Watson, mashed potato, 2-2. 2-2.
All right.
Watson, 3-2 Watson. You got to play him. He's on fire.
All right.
Says danger. Watson, says Terry. Hold on, that's 4-2. Pierce bouncing back. 4-3. 4-4. Pierce, another vote. 4-4. Watson, 5-4. 6-4. 7-4.
I got Pierce in 2 leagues. I'm gonna run Pierce in 1 league and run.
There you go.
Watson
There you go. That's always the answer. Just wash it.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right, Smitty. Appreciate it.
And we're getting a lot of Watson votes, by the way, coming piling in. All right, man. Later.
All right.
Man, it's a shame. I will be rooting for Pierce to bounce back, and I'm telling people right now, stop giving up on him. Like, let him bounce back before you start considering, dropping him. Like, you got to drop Dameon Pierce? You out of your minds? What he's done for you all year? Like, let this guy prove it. Okay, give him a shot. It's not his fault. Is the game? Let's see here. It's 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. Dial in. One more phone call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Last phone call of the day. You're live. You're the last caller of the day. What can I do for you?
Hey, how's it going? So it was Richie who's been trying to call you for the past couple minutes. I'm working right now.
Okay, what's up, Richie?
All right, so it's a 10-team dynasty league. I just need lineup advice.
All right.
So my starting lineup is Dak Prescott. My running back one is ETN. I'm debating on running back two. It's between Pacheco, Elliott, Pollard, Najee, or Warren or White. My wide receivers are CD, AJ Brown, Chase is at flex, and then Waddle's my third starter. My tight end's iffy because Goddard's out, so it's between Bellinger or Kmet. My defense is Tampa.
Okay. Trust your gut on the tight end play. I mean, I'd probably go Kmet if he's looking like healthy and everything. Chase, AJ Brown, CD. So your only call is that flex spot. So you have Pacheco, Zeke, Rashad White, and who else?
Warren or Najee.
Okay, so Najee's looking very shaky. So you have Warren, White. I'd probably go Rashad White if it's me, but I think maybe that could change. We need to kind of get a feel for like if the Fournette vibes are. You know, the news and the vibes. We'll know soon. We'll know soon. I think we could shift toward. It would be Pacheco probably. If not, I'm not going Warren. Warren's been banged up. We don't know what the workload divide's going to be. I don't really know that he'd even explode anyway. Elliott, I'm not rolling with Elliott. He's okay. He's safe-ish. I mean, probably 12 points. So if you need safety, Elliott's not horrible. But I feel like I couldn't sit White. You know, I couldn't sit White if he's looking like he's going to be a workhorse again.
Yeah, I lost last week by 0.20 points because ETN got hurt and then AJ Brown fumbled. And I've been on I was on a 6-game win streak in third place, and kind of hurt.
Yeah, Zeke isn't bad. He's not bad. It's just I don't know.
So keep Chase at flex, and then either running back two should either be White or possibly Elliott.
Yeah, I mean, Elliott's okay. It'd probably be White or Pacheco for me. I'm just saying, like, if you want safety, Elliott isn't bad. He's like
it's just a hard decision because I'm hoping Chase comes back. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Elliott's probably, he's not gonna have 100 yards and a touchdown. He's gonna be like a 50, 60 yards and a score game if he has a good game. So like White's just, we just gotta wait and see. We'll know more later in the week.
So yeah, I'll probably wait by like Friday.
Yeah.
Just because of all the injury reports and stuff.
All right, bro.
All right, cool. All right, man. Be smooth.
Good luck.
Thank you. You too.
Later. All right, guys. I'm out of here. We've been live for an hour and a half. I'm gonna get going for this game here. Let me see here. Isn't there a basketball game on right now? I'm looking for a specific game on, guys, and I can't find it. Sometimes YouTube TV. Who do you guys have? I got YouTube TV. Who do you guys have? Pacheco, Swift. I'm going Swift. Swift. Pacheco, Swift. I'm probably going to go Swift in that situation. Are you guys watching the World Cup? I've been watching all these games as much as I can. We got Saudi Arabia versus Mexico right now. We've got the France game on. The World Cup's I don't watch during the year any kind of soccer, but I love the World Cup. It's Mexico 2. The only thing I don't like about soccer, to be honest with you, I got these super chats I got to get through. The one thing I don't like about soccer is the time. It drives me nuts, this extended time, not knowing how much time's really left. I hate that. I hate that about soccer. Why can't they just have a time, like a stoppage or something? Why can't they just have a set time? You see 4 seconds ticking off. 3, 2, 1. Why does this have to be this way? That's the only part that bothers me. All right. Let's go USA. Okay, let's go USA. This one's from Chester. Chester says Stevenson tomorrow or wait for ETN. Also starting Walker. I would go Stevenson maybe over ETN right now, but that's really close. Stevenson without Harris is an RB 6 to 10. So right where ETN is right now. Start 3: Higgins, Lamb, Olave, Garrett Wilson, or Gabe Davis. I'm going to go Higgins, Lamb, and Olave. And thank you, Chester. Appreciate you. Mexico lost already? This is game delayed or something? This looks like it's live to me. Oh, it's probably already played. You just ruined it for me, didn't you? Thanks a lot. Mexico's winning 2-0. How do they lose? Oh, it's Group C. Is that why? I don't understand. Mexico is not in it anymore. He got leveled there. Let's go USA. Are we picking up Warren? How do you feel about it? I like Warren Sick Nasty. Thank you for the super chat. I like him. He's definitely, I think, a player that could surprise. I do like him, but it's not something where, I feel like I'm going to start him in a lot of places unless I'm hurt and ravaged by injuries. Need to keep 4 players for 2023. Appreciate you, Peter, with the super chat. 12-man league, 4 PPR. options are CMC, ETN, Devontae Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ramondre Pierce. Others are in the draft. I'm 10-2. You need to keep 4 players. ETN's one of them. Devontae Adams is another. Amon-Ra St. Brown's another. And it probably comes down to you probably got to keep CMC. I would want to keep Ramondre, but his future isn't really locked in to place. You know, like the end of the year, Harris could come in and like share time, and then all of a sudden Stevenson's got cloudy value. So it's clear as day, even though they're older players, CMC, ETN, or ETN's not, CMC and Devontae, even though they're older players, ETN and Amon-Ra, those are your clear top 4 picks or keepers. Appreciate you, my kind sir, for dropping that super chat. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. Mexico needed 4 goals to advance. Okay. That's why you're saying that. I'm like, this looks live. When does the U.S. play again? Saturday? Isn't it Saturday? I can't wait, bro. Bills have been getting run on. All right, guys. I'll see you all potentially tonight for another live stream. We'll see. But definitely tomorrow, and then definitely before the game, 7 p.m. Eastern. But probably 2 videos tomorrow. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all potentially later tonight. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm also live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight Eastern. That means tomorrow. That means also on Friday. That means also on Saturday. Maybe tonight. RS with a $20 hauler right at the end of the show. Getting a standing ovation on the way out the door. Nice work, broski. Nice work, broski. RS says, I'm pulling for Pierce, but I do consider Brian Robinson over Pierce. I would go, there's the goal. I saw someone say goal, and I'm obviously behind. That was another goal. Is it offsides? Sorry. Hey guys, are we going Pierce or are we going? Was that offsides? Are we going Pierce or are we going Brian Robinson? I think I'd go Pierce. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I think I'm going Pierce. Does anybody disagree? Can we get a vote here? I like Pierce, but I mean he's clearly crap in the bed, and I'm not surprised if anybody wants to go B-Rob, who's coming off a big game. B-Rob's got the momentum for sure, but does anybody think Pierce is going to bounce back in this one? Thank you, Swaggy JP. Appreciate you, pal. Pierce. Who's B-Rob playing? Pierce is playing. Let me get the schedule up. I believe he's at home. I guess that goal didn't count. I think he was offsides. Pierce is at home versus the Browns. Washington's on the road at the Giants. So I think Pierce is the play. Give me Pierce, RS, and I appreciate your super chat. Pierce to the moon. Or, to the moon. Pierce to the moon, but also RS to the moon. Appreciate you, RS. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you all for subscribing if you're new. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, live whenever news breaks, and I will see you all on the flip side. See you all later. Oh, another super chat. Hold on. Here's one more. My team is QB Kyler, Dak, wide receiver Chase, Reek, Hopkins, Scary Terry. Running backs are Cook, Pollard, Lenny, White. Do I trade Chase for JT? You got Tyreek Hill and Chase and Hopkins. Very good wide receivers. Your running backs are Cook, Pollard, and Lenny and White. I would say if you're in the playoffs already or you're not worried about your playoff spot, you keep Chase. I like White enough as your RB2, and if White goes down, Lenny will go in and be okay. I say you roll with the trio of wide receivers you got there with those RBs. I like your team. I don't do the move. I don't do the move. Not with the Week 14 bye. And even if you're in the playoffs already, I still think I'd rather have Jamar Chase. So go with Jamar Chase. That's my advice. If anybody changes or anybody feels differently, leave a note in the chat for good old Kicks for Mike. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you. Hey, and Kicks for Mike, it's close enough, man. There's a couple of JT votes. Travis says get JT. I just think that if you're in the playoffs already, you can wait on Jamar. There is some risk for Jamar. You're in second place, okay. There is some risk for Jamar. But, you know, I think as long as he doesn't, like, injure himself to the point where he, like, re-injures it and he's out, like, he'll get healthier and healthier. So by the time playoffs come, he should be full go, you know. But you never know. You never know. He could suffer a setback. Thank you, Terry, for the moderation tonight. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all later.